I'm Sheila Whiteley. I have a Professor Emeritus at University of Salford, where I used to be, had the chair of popular music, and since then I have pretty well retired, although I'm now twice as busy as I ever have been on research projects. Well, I started off, I did both my undergraduate and my PhD with the Open University with Richard Middleton, who anybody who is in popular musicology, the name would go zing like that, because he was probably one of the founder people of it. He supervised my PhD, and my external was Wilf Mellers, who in fact supervised Richard's PhD. So that was my background really, and then I went to Salford University in 1992, and it coincided with the publication of Space Between the Notes, which was the subject matter of my PhD, which looked at the relationship between hallucinogenic drugs and the counterculture. It's quite problematic to define what we mean by popular music, because we have pop on the one hand, but I would also include jazz, and certainly I'm also editing another thing on music and queerness, and we know that popular music goes right back to the medieval period. It's not just a contemporary phenomenon. There's always been popular music, whether one's looking at Gilbert and Sullivan, who are probably castigated in their time for being pop opera. So it's not just what you hear on what used to be Top of the Pops. Popular music is very wide-ranging. It's also one of the more difficult disciplines, because unlike classical music, where I can get a score out and analyse it from there, I have to have good ears, and so my primary source material is possibly a recording, and I have to be able to transcribe that in order to be able to make a start on what I'm going to do. So as a discipline, that's really quite tricky. There's also, because it's a fairly new discipline, it had no set canon in the way in which you analyse it. So you've got the sociological, I draw on literature, like I am for my talk this evening, which draws on Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights. It draws on film theory. It draws on art. It's a phenomenal way of analysing, and each of these disciplines brings with it its own way of theorising. So you haven't just got one methodological approach. You have to really be, you know, you might look at the psychological, you might look at various ways of analysing it. So it's not just one. So it is, in fact, a very tough discipline, as those of us who are employed in it are aware. So I think from a student's point of view, they might come in thinking, oh, I'm just going to listen to a bit of pop music now. Absolute rubbish. They're going to be put through a very, very strong disciplinary grill, which will really stretch them to the limits. It's very, very welcoming, a very welcoming environment. The facilities are amazing. I can remember the first year I came, I didn't think much of the speakers. And lo, I came back the next time and they've been changed. Now, where else would you go and find that people actually listen to the problems? Because after all, if you're playing a piece of music, you want it to sound and people to hear what's going on. The staff are very constructive, very helpful, and I was first introduced here by Dr. Rambaran, who teaches popular music and who did her PhD at the University of Salford when I was there. So one is the original association, and two, it's the ongoing one.